Steve Kim for UCN Live, and I'm here with trainer extraordinaire Freddie Roach. Freddie, March 7th, your man Zou Shiming fights for the title, and he's fighting a real guy. Let's backtrack a couple of years. When you got him, even though he was a two-time Olympic world champion, in your mind, was it a bit of a project? This was not like working with, let's say, a Frankie Gomez?
Our first training camp was so good. And he was boxing with Brian Valoia every day. And Brian's a world-class fighter. And he was getting the best of Brian every day. I made a prediction that he would be world champion in his second pro fight.
So
and then the first pro fight, we go to China.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I taught him, everything that we worked on went out the window. The amateur program came back 1,000%.
So, Freddie, the bottom line is when you get an amateur at a certain point, let's say past the age of 28, it is more difficult to break certain habits, isn't it?
By far, yes. You know, I've taken 2 other Olympians to world titles, and Brian Valoia was a young man, and Virgil Hill was a young man, so it worked out pretty well. But with Shiming, I thought it would be a little faster, but then I learned that people learn at different paces. I have to slow down with him a little bit and explain things a little better to him and get him to identify what setting down the punch really means. Mm-hmm. So it took a while because sometimes the translators have no clue what I'm talking about because they're not boxers, and the terminology is just not the same.
So they don't even speak the language of boxing, much less English to Chinese. My question is this.
Shanglei's the best.
Okay, well, when did you start to see the progress during the actual fight? When did he start to turn the corner to a point where you said we might be able to really tone in on a title shot?
Fourth fight.
Fourth fight.
I was really happy with the fourth fight. He fought more of the pro style, and then in the fifth fight, we just had a little problem between rounds 11 and 12. Mm-hmm. What was it? That was 12 round, right?
I don't really remember, but the last 2 rounds you felt he fell apart.
Well, he told me that he's going to run the rest of the fight because he's way ahead on points and he's going to protect his lead. Mm-hmm. And I said, no. I said, you knocked the guy out. So we had a little discussion because it was safer for him to protect the lead and just not get hurt or not get knocked out in the last 2 rounds. And that's how the amateur program is taught. So it did come back again. And he fought those last 2 rounds a little bit in the middle, but I still think he could have knocked that person out.
Freddie, you are not taking on a soft touch, though. Amnat Ruenroeng, that's a respected fighter. I mean, would you admit that those who think you are an underdog may have a point?
Sure. I mean, this is what boxing. If the guy who's supposed to won all the time, it'd be a boring sport.
It would be, yeah.
So, the thing is, I know we're in a tough fight. I'm trying to get out of his mind that he beat him twice and he lost to him once. I said, forget about that. That was 3 rounds. That's
inconsequential.
Gone. Yeah. 3-round fight and 12-round fight is just so much difference. And he has to go out there and fight the perfect 12-round fight to win this fight. The guy has some flaws. We're going to take advantage of them. Mm-hmm. We're going to use a lot of speed, but we're going to use a lot of lateral movement with this guy too, because if you stand in front of this guy, he will hit you.
Steve Kim for UCN Live, and I'm here with Freddie Roach. Freddie, so many things going on. What are you going to be doing on the night of May 2nd, in your opinion?
I think I'll have a room at the Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay, okay.
That's where Mandy always stays. and I think we're going to fight Floyd. Mm-hmm. I'm being very optimistic about that, but when you see Floyd on TV saying that, talking about the fight, that really means something to me because he never goes on TV. He's kind of, unless he's throwing money around and stuff like that and bullshitting, but to talk about a fight, first time I've ever seen him do it.
Freddie, in your opinion, from a mental standpoint, are you now, for the first time ever since, let's say, 2010, really hunkering down mentally and preparing for a training camp where Manny Pacquiao prepares specifically for Floyd Mayweather? Are you at that point?
I'll tell you how close I am. I might not go to China because it might get in my way of this fight. That's how strongly I feel.
Well, that would certainly be good news. Final question for Freddie Roach. Your other big member of your entourage or your crew is Miguel Cotto. Miguel seems to be kind of waiting to June. Have you heard the names Brandon Rios and Tim Bradley?
Yes, I have heard those names. I would, Gabby runs names by me at times, and I tell him who I like better or worse. I give him my reasonings, but he told me he needs a couple of days. He's going to give me a couple more names. The two he gave me are not the final names. There's two. He's going to give me two more names.
Two other names?
Yes.
Okay, we'll find out. This is Freddie Roach. This is Steve Kim for UCN Live.